The time's serious, got the Lord furious. We get scared, send up prayers, but he ain't hearing us. Turn to Satan, get delirious. What you better do is repent, boy, point blank, period. You got ignorant brothers, killing over colors. Single mothers, crabs in a barrel, they snapping at each other. Uncle Tom sleeping with the enemy under covers. Then you got needle fiends, alley cats chasing pipe dreams, or whatever's handy. Coke fiends, nose gleam, do whatever for the nose candy. Man tan, Amos and Andes. Gotta be wicked to get the Grammy. Don't condemn me, just understand me. My brother's not my own foe. These fake Hollywood pimps and Deuce Bigelows. Faggot niggas on the down low. 12-year-old selling ass for the billfold. Deuteronomy 28 in the chokehold.
In this world of drama, karma follows me closely. We live mostly comatose and so sleep. What it's like but a ball right. And every step manifests either life or death. And the effects of our life we choose is these curses, these verses. From the womb to hearses, the tomb to judgment. Heaven or hell, this is our life, our life, our life, our life.
Speaking of fighting, I've been writing. Writing is our child born and saying quitting sin. Number 2 pistol was shoved through a tattoo back. They say that him being neglected as a child was accessory to crime. Strange remedy nowadays. Brothers go to jail to find peace of mind. Now a cat watching me sit. Sharpen my shanks and bless my place. Describe my expression. Blank, blank, domino. Black and Mexican race war. My father's around. I'm carried on a string. Deputy controlling me through my hunger to live. Mirage tower, the shortened bed like Christ and a knife in it. This shell bird don't sing, this sweat, stress, and peck. My life could be summarized in yard privilege and TV set. I die at 10 and resurrect at 6 o'clock. Program these punches to move like shocks for curious inmates.
In this world of drama, karma follows me closely. We live mostly comatose and so sleep. What it's like but a ball right. And every step manifests either life or death. And the effects of our life we choose is these curses, these verses. From the womb to hearses, the tomb to judgment. Heaven or hell, this is our life, our life, our life, our life, our life.
I watch dreams on the TV screen, bring me that jealousy. Every breath I breathe, bring me the felonies. Selling me lies, intoxication that leads me. Open the demons, I see them, no one believes me. I'm getting visions, I'm wishing needs would stop. I'm seeing myself shot, bleeding up in the paw. My people, they can't stand me, call me sick in the head. It's all these voices giving me all these choices. Bomb on it with noises, gunshots, and stress. It's jail time unless I rise above and smash these crackers. Confuse me, pin me up, and use me. Wicked spirits, they choose me, possess and abuse me. I wanna scream cause my life's so miserable. We live so pitiful. Brothers say the Israel will ride on these crackers. Revenge is served cold. I'm trying to hold on what's left of my soul.
In this world of drama, karma follows me closely. We live mostly comatose and so sleep. What it's like but a ball right. And every step manifests either life or death. And the effects of our life we choose is these curses, these verses. From the womb to hearses, the tomb to judgment. Heaven or hell, this is our life, our life, our life, our life, our life.
Baby, what I have, what I do in my life.
All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh Shai. If I'm coming in clear, let me know, y'all. Let me know. You say no sound. Double back again. Throw 7 in the chat if you can hear me now. Should be good now. We good now? Okay, all praises, man. All praise, honor, glory to the Most High, Yahweh Shai. It's your brother IQAhmath. IQAhmath, first name, IQ, it's all the same. You've reached another episode. DSTM, don't shoot the messenger. You already know what time it is. Current events on deck through a scriptural and biblical lens, brought to you by yours truly through the spirit and power of the Most High by Hashem Mashiach Yahweh Shai. Prayerfully, everybody's doing well this evening. Shabbat shalom to the families in the house, man. Everybody that's been popping in here. And if you haven't, chimed in yet and saluted the saints, man, do so at your own will. And for those who are going to be watching us later on tomorrow, or joining us later, Shabbat shalom to you as well. All praise to the Most High. Shalom, my brother Karatazar in the house, Ashar in the house, Uziel, the house of Bayan, Kohath in the house. Yeah, all praises, man. My brothers is in the house. Good deal. Good deal. All right. So we're gonna get to a few things, man. Odessa in the house. Shalom, my sister. We're gonna get to a few things today, man. As usual, current events is on deck. We got updates on the war. Got more earthquakes that's been going down. Plagues of Egypt been jumping off, right? ICE back on the rampage. I warned and said that months ago that they got their money and they were going to be coming back with a vengeance. They've got a body count that's been racking up over the last couple of weeks. So the terror that's been happening and plaguing. Hold on. They've got a body count that's been racking up over the last. Turn this thing down. Slack here. The terror that's been occurring for our people, especially the northern kingdom, is back on. Body cam footages is being disappeared, not being operated, as Hispanic men are being unalived in the streets by ICE. We got a lot to discuss, but I won't be before y'all too long. I didn't collect 30 and 40 articles as usual, but I do have a few to get with y'all, man. So if you haven't already, man, make sure you go ahead on and wipe your feet, do your brother that solid, and support the channel by hitting that thumbs up, sharing the videos, acknowledging to the algorithm that this is content and information that you find valuable and you want others to be able to find it. That's all you got to do. That's your works, all right? For the night, let's say. Work don't stop. Let's not get that twisted. Let's get a couple scriptures, man. Hold on. I want to get to 2nd Ezra, 7th chapter, right? We're gonna start at verse 1. We're gonna read down, and so we can get in the spirit of understanding what we're dealing with in these days and times right now. 2nd Ezra chapter 7 in the first verse, it says, "And when I had made an end of speaking these words, there was sent unto me the angel, which has sent unto me the nights afore. And he said unto me, Up, Ezra, and hear the words that I am come to tell thee. And I said, Speak on, my power. Then said he unto me, The sea is set in a wide place, that it might be deep and great. But put the case, the entrance were narrow and like a river." Now he's acknowledging, he's saying, okay, now picture this, Ezra. You got a sea. The scene is being set. It's a sea, a wide sea. He said it's like great and deep waters. But he said, now imagine, in order to get past this river, there's a entrance that's narrow like a river. Who then could go into the sea to look upon it and rule it, and to rule it? If he had went not through the narrow, how could he come into the broad? Now, what's interesting about this is, if and the Spirit just told me this, all praises. Now it said that the sea, right? Now watch this. Look back over here. Now it says, "And I said, Speak on my power. Then said he unto me, The sea is set in a wide place, that it might be deep and great. But put the case, the entrance were narrow and like a river. Who then could go into the sea to look upon it and to rule it?" Now, talking about ruling over the sea. Let's look at this. Revelation 17:15. "And he said unto me, The waters which thou sawest, where the horse sitteth, are" what? "Peoples, multitudes, nations, and tongues." So here we are seeing the aspect of the kingdom. Spoiler alert. Aspect of the kingdom. It says, now, who can be upon these waters and rule the sea? Going back to 2nd Ezra, follow me. 2 Ezra 7:5. Who then could go into the sea to look upon it and to rule it? Now we're seeing a precept acknowledging that the seas, the waters, are peoples, multitudes, and nations and tongues that are destined to be ruled over. Now, who is going to be getting rulership over them? Revelation 2:26. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. And what? And he shall rule them with a rod of iron. As the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my Father. So the nations, i.e. the heathen, are going to be ruled over by, number one, Hamashiach Yahushua, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, and under him will be the elect and the disciples, because in Matthew 19:28, it says that the 12 disciples will sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. So they'll be sitting in rulership and judgment. The elect will be ruling over those that overcome will be ruling over the nations, right? And ruling over them with a rod of iron. That rod of iron is the laws and the commandments. And those that are disobedient, they will be getting broken down. Now, when we go back here to 2 Ezra chapter 7, remember the metaphor. Now it says, who then could go into the sea to look upon it and to rule it? So who's going to be able to look upon these nations, look upon everyone, and be able to rule over them? If he went not through the narrow, how could he come into the broad? There is also another thing. A city is builded and set upon a broad field, and is full of all good things. So here's the city. The city of truth, city of Jerusalem. Revelation 21 gives us a clear-cut understanding regarding the holy city of Jerusalem coming down and going to be ruled over with 12 gates, so forth and so on, right? All after each tribe. Now, continued on, it says, the entrance thereof is narrow and is set in a dangerous place. The entrance thereof is narrow and set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were a fire on the right hand and on the left a deep water. So in order to get into this narrow passage that can lead us into rulership, you got to go the straight and narrow. Because if you go to the left, as it says, there's deep waters. Go to the right, there's fire waiting. Both forms of judgment, right? What happened in the Old Testament during the time of Noah? Water destroyed the earth, was a form of destruction upon the nations, was a sign from the Most High that we need to get our act together, repent, and get on our 1-2, as they say, right? And then you have fire. Now the Most High said that water he wasn't going to use as a form of judgment. The next go round is going to be done by fire. So both sides we're seeing judgment. We're seeing death on both sides if we fall off to the left or to the right. We have no choice but to stay straight. You have no choice but to stay straight. Now look, even Yahushua told us, Matthew 7 and verse 13. It says, enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction. See, it's not about going where everybody's going. It's not about, who got the most people over here, or those usually are death traps. Sorry to break it to you. That's how the Most High said. The Most High is never with the majority. Ask Gideon. All he needed was 300 men to take down the, I think it was the Philistines. I could be wrong. Or the Canaanite. I can't remember which nation it was. But the Most High always likes to roll with the underdog. He told us he didn't choose us because we're the greatest amongst the nations. He wanted us to be the last ones left. The first to be last and the last shall be first. We're the last nation to be produced on the earth. Remember, Esau came out first and then Jacob. That sealed the nations, right? So now the Most High says he likes to use the weak to confound the wise. So it's never about where everybody and all of the people are at and all that other stuff. Sometimes we can get, kind of jaded in our carnal minds and thinking like, oh, because there's a lot of people here, a lot of people there, everybody's doing this, that, and the third, that must be the right thing. No. The Lord is saying, guess what? wide is the gate and broad is the way that leads to destruction. Why? Because there's manifold temptations in there. There's all kind of confusion. There's all kind of madness that goes on, violence and hell going on all in there. Who knows? The world has a whole lot of things that can have our people completely distracted. Let alone it could be in the truth, it could be in the church, it could be, just in your daily lives. You thinking like this is where everybody's at. This must be the right place. This is not a house party. When you go to the house party or to the club, he's saying it's jumping. You're like, oh, this must be the one, man. Everybody's over here, and that's the one that gets shot up. That's the one with 3 people in OD because they in there selling drugs in there, and you like, damn, that wasn't a spot we should have been at. Yeah, no, you shouldn't have been. So Christ told us, wide is the gate and broad is the way that lead to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. So even amongst Israel, he said 2/3 are going to be cut off and die for rebelliousness. So many are going to go the broad way. But verse 14, because straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. There's only an elect that's going to find this. There's only an elect that's going to actually stay on this narrow path, not lose balance. Yeah, you might fall, but you're falling forward. You're not falling backwards. You're falling forward on your knees, and guess what? You get up, you dust yourself up, you keep going. There's I always give y'all a little reference. HBO has a documentary, and it's called the something about the wizard. Let me see this. Hold on. The Dark Wizard, and you can clearly see just off of this picture right here. You see him tightrope walking barefoot, going across this zip line with there's no net at the bottom of that, right? This is Esau, man. The foolish nation. This guy's an official daredevil, thrill seeker, adrenaline junkie. He was one of these rock climbers that used to climb mountains and all of that with no gear on and all of this other stuff, right? And was always intrigued with the possibilities of death. And eventually he found what he was looking for. He found what he was looking for, but you see here, now if you just see the thumbnail alone, just imagine. And if you got HBO, I would encourage y'all to watch it because it gives you, insight into the depths of faith that one can have. But at the same point in time, it shows you how the foolish nation that Esau is. But if you see this right here, you can see the thumbnail on the front. He's tightrope walking along a deep mountainous pit. The best I can describe it. Barefoot, and what's on him, that's not a parachute. This dude was really going out there doing these type of things. This is our walk, essentially. When you're talking about that straight and narrow path, that's exactly what it is in the spirit. To your right, deep waters. To the left, flaming fire. You got to stay on the narrow path. If y'all ain't seen that, it's a pretty good documentary. It's interesting. But I forgot this cat's name, man. But Esau's a damn fool, man. I can tell you that much. And but not to get off track, but just to give a visual, because sometimes Israel, man, we're more visual. We're seeing to believe it type. The scriptures say, man, that the Greeks should get the wisdom, but the Jews require a sign. Not only was that based upon the scriptures, or the Jews were waiting for the signs and the wonders of the prophecies, and the Greeks, the Hellenized Jews, they were just seeking out wisdom and just want to understand it. They want to return back to the fold. But literally, our people are seeing to believe it. Like if they can't see it, touch it, smell it, it ain't real. So sometimes we need visuals. That's why when brothers go out teaching and you see the visual aids, or you see me pulling up the scriptures on here, or you see me going to pictures, because it helps us visualize. We're an imaginative people. So when we see things, it becomes more real, it becomes more tangible, and now we can believe it a little bit more because we've been able to visualize it and see it. Sometimes we lack in certain areas of faith where we don't need to see it all. We get it. But many a time, especially young babes, we need to see it. So if you want to see that documentary, I would recommend it. It's pretty interesting. I think it made about 4 or 5 parts. I can't remember. I seen it a couple months back, but that ate him up was crazy. But getting back to Matthew 7:14, it says, "Because straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and guess what? Few there be that find it." It's not an easy path, man. Everybody's not gonna see it. Everybody's not gonna get it. Was that a name, Dean Potter? Yeah, I think his name was Dean. Did you seen it, Ashar? Or you was already familiar with him? But nonetheless, you can see here, right? So getting back to the second Ezra 7:7, it says, "The entrance thereof is narrow, and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were a fire on the right hand and on the left of deep water. And only one path." You know what? Matter of fact, even with that being understood, let me get one more precept. Isaiah 66. And we're going to read 10 down to 12. It says, "Rejoice ye with Jerusalem, and be glad with her, all ye that love her. Rejoice for her with her, all ye that mourn for her. That ye may suck and be satisfied with the breast of her consolations, that ye may milk out and be delighted with the abundance of her glory. But thus saith Yahweh, Behold, I will extend peace to her like a river, and the glory of the Gentiles like a flowing stream. That ye shall suck, ye shall be borne upon her sides, and be dandled upon her knees." So what's the Most High saying? That narrow path, that river, remember it said it was going to be like a river in the midst of the sea. That's the peace. That's the kingdom. Okay. And who's it coming for? Comforting for Jerusalem. Verse 13. "As one whom his mother comforted, so will I comfort you, and ye shall be comforted in Jerusalem." So that lets you know that the people who's over there right now can't be being comforted because they have not understood that they ain't the people. Many of them do, and they hide it. But this is just more evidences that when it comes down to true peace, salvation, glory, etc., the Lord said we're going to be comforted in our own land. Can't be the people over there. They claiming they already in the land. Okay. So now let's get back over here. Verse 8. "And one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could be but one go there at once," one at a time. That's the sifting, that the Most High does. So slowly but surely, we stay on this path, going for our glory, going for our salvation, going for our peace, going for rulership over the nations. Reading on, it says, "If this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he shall never pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance?" So nothing is easy. You can't go and get dunked in some water and plead the blood of Jesus and then say, you know what, I'm saved now. I received the kingdom. I'm blessed and highly favored. Meanwhile, you're living in the cursed conditions, ducking bullets, scared when the police, get behind you. You got family members as smoked out, gang banging, etc. That's not blessed and highly favored. That's cursed. Struggling to robbing Peter to pay Paul, wondering how you gonna get your next meal, getting that eviction notice on the door, or getting the notice that your rent or your mortgage is going up, taxes going up, and you're just like, good Lord, I can't get win for losing here. But the Lord said, now, if you got an inheritance, it's only right that you go through some danger or you go through some proving in order to receive it. You don't just get there's no silver spoons in this walk. You know that old scenario, they say somebody was born with a silver spoon in their mouth, meaning they had no struggle. They don't know what it's like to be oppressed. They don't know what it's like to have to serve somebody else. Everything's been always handed to them on a silver platter. Doesn't work like that here in this truth. Everybody has to pay their dues. Thus saith the Lord. He says, everyone must work out their own salvation with fear and trembling. Everybody's got to pay their dues, no exceptions. Verse 10. And I said, it is so, Lord. Then said he unto me, even so also is Israel's portion. Right? So whose portion is this belonging to? Israel. Israel is going to rule over the nations. Israel is going to have the ability to have the peace and be set back in our own land. Dry eyes, rulership, dominion, endless riches, etc. Land, all that's coming back to us. True righteousness being led by and ruled by the law, statutes, and commandments that Yahweh gave us. Continuing on, it says, because for their sakes I made the world. And when Adam transgressed my statutes, then was decreed that now is done. Then were the entrances of this world made narrow, full of sorrow and travail. They are but few and evil, full of perils and very painful. So let's not get it twisted. This is why when I go into DSTM and we're going into current events, 9 times out of 90%, 95% of the information that goes forth is not nice. It's not favorable. It's not cool. It's not entertaining. Why? Because number one, Jeremiah 28:9 tells us that the legacy of a prophet and the words of a prophet should be as thus. Jeremiah 28:8 says, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war, evil, and pestilence. That's what comes out the mouth of a prophet. They don't come in there talking about, hey, Happy New Year, hey, Merry Christmas, Happy 4th. No. The prophet's job is to warn the people. The prophet's job is to give people understanding as it comes from, as they're being divined through the word of the Most High. They're supposed to relay it to the people so that the people can be prepared and have a protective hedge for when things go left. Prophet's job is to watch out and look out for the people. So when you see these things, when they prophesy against many countries, they just had a prayer vigil for Agent Orange, man. They had orangutan in charge, man. These goofy preachers, man, holding hands and laying hands on him, talking about even if you don't agree with his policies, you should still pray for the scriptures say to pray for your government. No, it doesn't. They completely butchered Romans 13. I'm gonna have to do a lesson on that because they completely got that completely twisted. That's a whole nother lesson. So I'll get to that in another go around. But a prophet or a man of the Lord is going to prophesy against the countries, against great kingdoms, and of war, evil, pestilence. Verse 9, the prophet which prophesied peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that Yahweh truly have sent him. You ain't heard me say, peace deal is on deck. All praise to the Most High. Yeah, good deal. We finally got the ceasefire. Oh, I'm so glad. God, hallelujah. God bless him. You ain't heard me say none of that. And you'll never hear a man of Israel say that. Rooting for and cheering for the peace for America and want this place to continue on forever and ever. Celebrating the 250th year birthday and whatever. Get out of here, man. We're doing none of the above. Because that's what you would classify as a false prophet. Going back, verse 12. Verse 12. Then were the entrances of the world made narrow, full of sorrow and travail. They are but few and evil, full of perils. Now, why is that? Because it said, when Adam transgressed the statutes, everything that's going on now is because of that same scenario, because of that incident. Now, getting back to the Most High through the world is going to be made a narrow path. It's going to be harder to get to him, full of sorrow and travail. We're going to go through hell, man. That's what I was just telling everybody at the new moon class. Sometimes our people, We get a little twisted when we start talking about the afflictions that we go through when we're in the truth, and people get to blaming the truth. You get offended in the church, you get offended by somebody, all of a sudden it's the truth's fault. Oh, I left that camp, I left this place because they was doing this, that, and the third, or she did this to me, or he did that to me. And then it becomes, oh, I used to be an Israelite. Now you see somebody making a video, why I left the Hebrew Israelites. Like, you had it completely twisted from the beginning. You can't leave an ethnicity. You can't leave a nation. You're born into it. It's part of your bloodline. It's part of your legacy. It's part of your spirit. You recognize that from the beginning, but all of a sudden, when a little bit of offense comes through, or some problem goes down, or you get confused by doctrine, or you get slothful, or you don't become consistent in your works, Satan is going to come in and pull you away. That's the whole parables of the sower and the seed. And people don't realize you was catching hell before you even came into the truth. That's why those curses resonated with you. Now all of a sudden you're in the truth, the curses you don't recognize that no more. Like, that's not part of your life anymore. Like, you came into the truth, all of a sudden now the curses just disappeared. No. You work hard in your repentance to minimize those curses. You recognize the things that you were doing that could help you not fall into those curses again. But we're still, number one curse is being subject to our enemies and one of all things. That's just one. So there you go. Continuing on. Verse 13. The entrances of the elder world were wide and sure and brought immortal fruit. So the world of old was wide and sure. That was all given to Adam, Eve, to the Adamites, and to the elect of that seed and bloodline, man. And they had immortal fruit way before them. But guess what? Through death, pain, sin, etc., everything, all bets is off. And we got to work even harder to get back what was freely given to us from the beginning. They was chosen from the beginning, man. They didn't have to prove or do nothing. The Most High elected Adam. And through his seed and kinfolk, got Eve to establish a chosen bloodline in the seed. And lost it. Now we got to work hard to get it back. And he said, but why are you working hard? He said, it's going to be evil. It's going to be full of perils. It's going to be painful. It's going to be a lot going on. But if we recognize that, then we see that once we get to that finish line, we stay on that straight and narrow path, we'll recognize all praise to the Most High. Man, we're going to say it was all worth it. Verse 14, I'm going to stop here. If then they that live labor not to enter these straight and vain things, they can never receive those that are laid up for them. So scripture is telling us, if they then that live labor not to enter these straight and vain things. So if we don't labor to enter into that straight and narrow path, if we don't do the work to stay on the path and maintain ourselves, you will never receive the kingdom. We'll never get it. So we have to be diligent. We have to stay strong. We have to stay focused. So when we go through these current events, you see what's going on. It's not by error that everything that's going on now is just a culmination of things that we have to witness, go through, and overcome to get what the Most High has planned for us, which is a glorious kingdom. A glorious kingdom of rulership and dominion. Let me get 2 Ezra 16. Look at this. Behold, 2 Ezra 16:37. Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. I mean, if you can say that they're slack, then you must be blind. Stevie Wonder can see it. Ray Charles just reached out of the grave and said, I see it too. Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. So we've seen multiple plagues, multiple reasonings through, the end time prophecies of wars, rumors of wars, earthquakes, diverse places, uproars of the people. You see what's going on with the food plague going on right now. You seen what happened, how everybody was shook, and we went through a whole mess of drama and trauma with the COVID. for 3 years. And the Most High said they're not slack. They here. They ain't taking their time. If you just seen, we just seen, what was it? What was it? 5 earthquakes, four countries had major earthquakes in 24 hours. Papua New Guinea, Japan, where else was it? Venezuela. There was another one not too long ago. Japan just had another one. Mexico, I mean, come on. Look at this, verse 38. And when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb. So imagine the Most High said, you want to think about it, man, sisters that's been through them the labor intensive pains. You've been through the Braxton Hicks. You've been through the false alarms, and got your to-go bag ready to run out the door, and it ain't time yet. And they send you back home to the hospital, and that's what we're going through right now. But the Lord said, when the time comes, we're gonna be in the 9th month. 2 or 3 hours of great pain gonna be going through. That's that hard labor, man. And the nurses are saying you're not dilated enough yet. And you like, I'm going through hell. No, it's gotta be it. No, you're only 3 centimeters. 4, a little bit more. Get it out of here. Straighten up. It ain't there yet. But we for sure are feeling and seeing the birth pains going through. Continuing on, it says, with 2 or 3 hours of her great birth pains compass her womb, which pains, when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. So there's not going to be a place in the earth that there's not going to be sorrow, there's not going to be affliction, there's not going to be hell. Listen, man, you're not finna, we're going to leave Babylon, run. We're going back to Africa. Back to Africa? That wasn't point A either. I'm going to escape. I'm running down to the Caribbean. I'm going to run over here to Thailand. I'm going to New Zealand. They say that's the best place to be if there's a nuke. I'm moving to Australia. Did you just not hear and read what the Lord said? Sorrow shall come upon it on every side of the earth. Huh? That's why we ought to be in our closets, buckled down, and be prepared to be delivered up out of here, man, because the only thing that's going to prepare us and save us is a faith in Yahweh Shai and keeping these commandments, man. Don't get me wrong. I mean, as we see Jacob's trouble approaching, we talk about prepping, we talk about being wise in these times and using the knowledge. All those things are going to be useful tools. But hey, when things really go to hell in the handbasket, man, and you hear alarms going off and people talking about, hey, we only got 30 more minutes left on the earth. What are we gonna do? Like, ain't nothing you can do then. Massive earthquake hits, man, it cracks the earth. Whole buildings and houses is being swallowed up. Bodies all over the place. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. Great plagues. Esau got everything from disease X to airborne Ebola and all that. When the death toll starts hitting at hundreds of thousands through a plague, a bug-out bag ain't going to save you. We better be locked into the spirit, locked in our faith, locked into the laws and the commandments, locked into the faith of Yahweh Shai, because listen, at that point, that's the only thing that we can have on our side. Let's look at some of these current events today, y'all. Your man, Agent Orange, man, as escalation. So, just in the spirit of birth pains, in the spirit of escalations, since he said, I don't trust him, I don't want to talk no more, peace talks off, we've been hearing and seeing A lot of activity over there coming from America. This is the storylines and the word that we're hearing from Western media that there's massive bombings been going on. Iranian infrastructure and civilian infrastructure is being hit. They over there going through it. Iran's hitting back. So things are heightening. Now we even hearing about Agent Orange saying, oh, ground troops, anyone? You know, if ground troops get down, it's a wrap. It's really all out war. Now they still have to play the game of saying it's not a war, this is a conflict. Oh, it's not a war, this is an invasion. You know, but eventually they're going to come clean.
According to the Wall Street Journal, President Trump held a Situation Room meeting to review options for expanding U.S. military operations against Iran. The reported plans include deploying U.S. troops to seize Kharg Island, striking the heavily fortified.
It's hard to understand what she's talking about. You know, Elam got one of the worst accents when it comes to speaking English. To me, between them and Moab, I just be telling them, like, hey, look, be quiet. I can't get through that accent. All right, let me be serious. Let me just double back, because you see in the Wall Street Journal article, Trump leans toward expanding U.S. military operations. So that expansion is talking about putting ground troops, as you can see down here. While preferring diplomacy, Trump was briefed this week on options, including use of ground troops and bombing the Pickaxe Mountain. So, interestingly enough, we hear back when I did Revelation 8 class about mountains being leveled into the sea. Some of these things are prophetic.
Seize Kharg Island, striking the heavily fortified Pickaxe Mountain nuclear-linked tunnel complex and widening airstrikes to target Iran's energy infrastructure. The report says Trump has not made a final decision. Pickaxe Mountain's tunnels are believed to lie hundreds of feet beneath.
All right, man, honey, you heard my ears. Like you said, Ashar, I'm with you. She's struggling to get that report off. Let's move on, okay? So the U.S. hits Iran bridges on the 6th day of attacks and expansion of an airstrike campaign. So, like we went over in Revelations, the 9th chapter, in dealing with drone warfare and how the next stage of warfare is going through drones, missiles, bombs. You know, there's going to be ground troops, there's going to be ground weapons, and this, that, and the third. But the main force of weapons in today's military is through drones and bombings and things of that nature.
Raising Cane's is celebrating National Chicken Finger Day.
Oh, goodness.
U.S. launching a new set of strikes here against Iran for the 6th straight day. Iranian state media now reporting that today's strikes hit 2 bridges and allegedly killed 7 people. Brand new video here just in. U.S. Central Command here showing U.S. Marines boarding a tanker in the Gulf of Oman. They say to verify compliance with the ongoing U.S. blockade. So far, U.S. forces have said to redirect 3 ships and disable 1 just since Tuesday.
The reason, and this is important for the American people to understand, the reason for the recent strikes over the course of the last several days is because Iran violated the memorandum of understanding that we struck with them.
Huh? See, there they go lying. They said that Iran violated the memorandum of understanding. They held all along that they didn't have no damn agreement. And Trump bombed first. Never mind. Let's go.
Specifically, in the memorandum of understanding that they signed, they were not to fire on commercial vessels moving through the Strait of Hormuz.
Even as the fighting intensifies over control of the Strait of Hormuz, the push for renewed diplomatic negotiations continues a bit behind the scenes. Mediators and top negotiators on both sides here now hinting that new talks to end the attacks are still possible. In fact, Pakistan.
There they go lying again. New talks is possible. Didn't Trump just said last week he doesn't want to talk anymore? He's done. But here they go, still trying to string the people along because why? You've got polymarket, you have people making a lot of money off of these particular bets. You've got these defense contractors getting paid. The Pentagon is broke. We seen that last week, so they got to drum up some more money to get the weapons and the replenishments going on. They got to pay the troops and all of that. You know, this is what happened with Rome. Rome ended up having mercenary soldiers, man. They was breaking loose because why? Rome's government couldn't pay them. Then you see some of these TikTok videos of, you know, these ex-soldiers and all that speaking out against the war. You got some that's in the war saying, why are we fighting this? And they all blaming the small hat GMO mutants over there, saying I didn't agree to fight for them. It's Rome all over again. Same thing. And we know that this place is the second coming of Rome.
Pakistan's foreign ministry saying today, quote, whenever the parties exhaust the logic of escalation, the formula for peace is there.
So they got to keep stringing people along, talking about, oh, peace talks are still available. Peace is, you know, there's still a chance we can get to an agreement. No, there's not. All right.
U.S. launching.
Okay, Iran issues a grim new order to citizens after U.S. strikes hit power plants as conflict spiral. So now they're getting more into the civilian infrastructure. Iran told, look down here. It says Iran has told the citizens to turn off the air conditioning during peak hours as the country's power grid came under strain amid the U.S. strikes. So the U.S. is doing tactical strikes, man, knocking down power plants. It's 102 degrees. Look down here. It says 102 degrees on Friday and on Saturday and Sundays. This weekend's going to be triple digits. And they telling the people you can't use the air conditioning. And you know it's dry, hot heat over there in that desert. Nasty. Esau's not playing. You know, and they doing the same thing because they double back and hit a water facility. Look at this. Iran attacks U.S. allies' water supply after Trump destroys bridges and airports with devastating bombardment. Yeah, there's multiple wars going on. Yemen, they just had one of their airports get bombed and blew up, and Yemen is involved with the Houthis. So there's a greater war that's jumping off, and they acting like this is not a real global conflict. This isn't a real war. You got bombs dropping down in Yemen. You got bombs dropping down in Israel, Gaza, Syria, Lebanon, Iran, Qatar, Kuwait, Bahrain. I mean, how many more countries need to be involved until we can say that this is a major conflict involving nations rising against nations, kingdom against kingdom, wars and rumors of wars? I mean, how many more do we need before we can classify it as we're in this thing? Water supply is now being threatened. Iran targeted Kuwait's drinking water and power plants with drone and missiles after Donald Trump caused widespread chaos throughout Iran with devastating attacks on their bridges and airports. So they can't get over here yet. So what do? They attack America's allies because guess what? That's going to make the allies reach out to America and say, help, or else we're going to break free from you. Ismail, the United Arab Emirates already said, like, look, man, if you can't beat them, man, we'll cut you off. We'll just go ahead and make up with Iran, because we ain't got the military, we ain't got the defense, and y'all ain't doing enough to defend us. So Iran knows what they're doing. They said, man, well, you know what? We can't get to them, but we can get to them, those that's close to you, and those military bases that you guys set up over there. Y'all seen the video, you seen the pictures. Military bases are destroyed over there. So what's next? Go ahead and hit their allies. Can't get to their America, we'll get to your allies then. And let them beg and cry and plead for you to come save them. Kuwait is an oil-rich desert nation where everyday life depends on desalination plants, which produce about 90% of the country's drinking water by converting seawater from the Gulf. Authorities says several power generation units were damaged in the attack, but the firefighters have brought the resulting blaze under control. Iran has repeatedly menaced Washington's Gulf allies with drone and missile barrages since the war erupted in late February. Thursday's attack was the first time Tehran has targeted the power infrastructure. So, they playing dirty now. Now look at this. China's remote Taklamakan Desert. Xi Jinping's forces are secretly building exact replicas of U.S. warships and fighter jets. Now think about that. Why is China making replicas of U.S. warships and fighter jets only to use them to destroy them? That should tell you something. China is sitting in the back saying, guess what? We might have to redirect our efforts regarding Taiwan. Taiwan could be the linchpin for America and China to come into conflict. But of recent, I'm seeing some reports saying China's kind of redirecting their plans. So look at this. China is not just building replicas of U.S. warships. Satellite images analyzed by the Telegraph reveal it is also building models of fighter jets, naval bases, and Taiwanese presidential buildings. Beijing has been using these models to test its ever-growing stockpile of long-range weapons and new AI systems as it prepares to take control of Taiwan, a top priority of Xi Jinping, the Chinese president. Did you hear that? They're making replicas of naval bases, fighter jets, build Taiwanese buildings, U.S. built warships and fighter jet, and then Taiwanese presidential building. This is only meaning that China is preparing to go to war or preparing themselves to engage with America in warfare. Let's look at a second at this. What is it, 15? See, this is one of the things that is going to get them destroyed too. Because they so desirous to want to be like America, man. They're in the race to see who can control AI. They're in the race to see who can control the people. They're in the race to see who can have diplomacy. And they're selling off all of their U.S. bonds and buying gold. So they're backing out of supporting America by buying up their bonds, because basically that's what these countries do. They buy America's debt, and America says, we'll pay you back at interest. Just keep us afloat. They're damn near like them getting payday loans. You dig what I'm saying? Like, that's what's so crazy about America. America be so quick to stomp on blacks and Hispanics and those of us in the hood and the ghettos and struggling incomes and living check to check and, robbing Peter to pay Paul and bouncing checks and doing all kind of, cash advances. Like, look, America does the same damn thing. America's broke as hell. They get other countries to buy up their debt in U.S. bonds and say, we'll pay you back with interest. And they like, man, that's a good bet. Okay, here, we pay this off for you. Now give it back to us. Now, China's like, you know what? The hell with these bonds. We ain't investing in America no more. We're selling them off and we're buying gold. Look at it. You know what? I can show you better. I can tell you. Hello? Okay, look at this. China has been reducing its holdings of U.S. Treasury bonds while increasing its gold reserves, a shift aimed at reducing exposure to the U.S. dollar and geopolitical risk. Why are they trying to get away from the dollar? The dollar is obviously falling. America's obviously falling. They're backing out before they lose everything, and they're reinvesting in gold. Meanwhile, Esau's over here manipulating the market, cooking the books, devaluing the precious metals because he wants to continue on with the fallacy that money's good in stocks. They got inflationary fake paper running through the stock markets. What are they doing? Pump and dump schemes. Trump is constantly running game with the war. Oh, we got a peace deal. Don't got a peace deal. Oh, we're slamming them. We're killing them. Invest in this. Elon Musk is running game. They're all running game, man. I think over the last 3-4 months, I've been talking about all of the wealth that orangutan orange has accumulated in the year and a half that he's been president. China ain't stupid. They like, you know what? Get rid of this damn money. Get rid of these bonds, man. Let's buy gold because that's what a safe bet is. Look at this. China cuts U.S. bond holdings to U.S. 688.7 billion, but gold reserves continue to soar. Okay, so we see what they're doing, right? Now, going back over here in 2nd Ezra 16, we'll read 43 down. It says, and they shall go steadfastly into Babylon and make her afraid. They shall come to her and besiege her. The star and all wrath shall they pour out upon her. So America's going to get hit with that star. What's a star? ICBM missile, bombs, nuclear destruction, smoke. How do we know this? Okay, look here. It says, then shall the dust and smoke go up unto heaven. This is how we know that it's Babylon. I think it's in Revelation, I want to say 16. Maybe not 16. This is no 18. Shlaki. Yeah, Revelation 18:18, right? And look here. It says, for in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught, and every shipmaster and all the company and ships and sailors, and as many as trade by sea stood afar off, and cried when they saw the what? Smoke of her burning, saying, what city is like unto this great city? Well, what great city was they talking about? Babylon. Modern day Babylon. We ain't talking about ancient Babylon, right? So when we go back over here, who's it still talking about? Babylon, right? They shall come to her, so the nation's going to come against her and besiege her. America's going to be under besiege. It's going to be defeated, overran. The star and the wrath shall they pour out upon her. Then shall the dust and smoke go up into the heaven, and they that be about her shall bewail her. So that's what we just read in Revelation 18. And they that remain under her shall do service unto them that have put her in fear. And thou, Asia, thou that art partaker of the hope of Babylon. So China and America relations, you know, on the front end, they act like they're the worst of enemies. Meanwhile, they've been having back deal doors all day long. China's been buying up bonds, land. The import-export business between China and America has been booming. The tariff issue, that was the first nation. Trump was like, "Hey, we gotta balance out the tariffs. We gotta make a deal." Why? Because Asia wants to be like America, man. You always see, even in the physical, man. When you see these Korean actors, Chinese actors, the superstars are all bleaching their skin, looking like Edomites, man. Look at it, Chinese. They all want to look like damn Esau, man. Look at this. Look at these guys. Because they want to be like Esau. The hope and partaker of Babylon. Look at these. The top 10 most handsome Chinese actors of 2025. Looking like straight homosexuals. Look at his skin. That's not vitiligo. They all want to look like and be like Esau. You look at any of the ancient pictures of old Moab, man, they all was darker. They got no problem bleaching their skin, man. They want to be like Esau. Not only that, they want the power, they want the dominion, they want to be able to have the recognition that they're going to be the next superpower, world power. They're hobnobbing and rubbing elbows with Putin. But as long as he's alive, Esau's still in control. It ain't about America. It's about the nation. It's about the ethnicity. It's about the people. Esau is the one who's going to be the end of the world, not Moab. The earth's been given into the hand of the wicked. Primarily, that's Esau. He's running the earth. But guess what? Because Moab is aspiring and is so just and wants that, look what's going to happen. And thou, Asia, that art partaker of the hope of Babylon and art the glory of her person. Why is it the glory of her person? Because they've been holding up America for so long. Assisting America. They go over there, they do all the beta tests with the AI, they do all the beta tests with the robotics, they do all the beta tests with the social credit scores and everything else. And then they go and tell America, yep, it works. You can do it too. Look what happened with COVID, man. What they say? It came from the Wuhan lab. Oh, it came from bats over there. The damn Chinese did it. Agent Orange was the first one. It came from China. Continuing, it says, woe be unto thee, thou wretch, because thou hast made thyself like unto her, and hast decked thy daughters in whoredom, that they might please and glory in thy lovers, which have always desired to commit whoredoms with thee. So everybody gets a piece. Everybody, they want to be the next great whore. Continuing on, it says, thou hast followed her that is hated in all her works and inventions. Therefore, saith the Most High, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence. They just got hit with major typhoons over there. Where is that? Typhoons in China. Yeah. Typhoon Bobby hit China and led to nearly 2 million people being evacuated from areas in its path. It struck the eastern provinces of Taizhou and Wenzhou after passing over parts of the region. 1.7 million evacuated. They just said 2 million before that. They getting hit too. Right? They getting hit with plagues. They getting hit with typhoons, flooding, and the whole nine. Why? Because they want to be like damn America. What's America getting hit with? Flooding in Brooklyn, flooding in Texas. Crazy weather anomalies going on all throughout the country, all throughout the world, really. Now America's getting hit with toxic smoke coming from Canada, Midwest, all the way to the East Coast, man. Go outside and catching asthma attacks. This place is plagued. And China's following right along. Verse 49, one more time. It says, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, and sword, and pestilence to waste thy houses with destruction and death. That's how we know that they're not going to rise up from the fall of America. They're going to come out and say, well, we got control now. No, you don't. They're going to be destroyed too. But it goes back to the scenario, man, that China now is aiming their sights on the big dog. When you sit up there making replicas of U.S. warships and fighter jets and utilizing it for your AI systems and long-range weapons, what is that for? That's like you putting a picture up of somebody on the wall and you throwing darts at it or using it for target practice and you popping shots at it and you saying, damn, why you use that face? It's obviously somebody that you dislike, somebody that you got a problem with, somebody that you actually want to, get into a particular conflict with, you practicing for. So China is doing that. So let's keep an eye on that. See, look at this. China preparing to win the war on Taiwan by 2027. I've been quoting that for a minute. This is as of December of last year, right? But look how fast things change. We don't know what's true, what isn't. This could be smoke screens, could be lies. We don't know, but we see here, it says this comes from the Pentagon. So Esau puts this out and says China's preparing for war against Taiwan in 2027. What we're seeing here is China's preparing for war against America through Taiwan. But that was as of December. Now look, as of March of this year, now the U.S. assesses China is not planning to invade Taiwan in 2027. Who knows what's going on? Esau loves to throw smoke screens, distractions, lies, misinformation out there. So you trying to tell me within 4 months something changed? December, they saying, oh, we got intelligence. They're going to take down Taiwan in 2027. Then 4 months later, actually, they're not planning on doing that. Strike that off the record. Okay, no. Now it says China does not currently plan to invade Taiwan in 2027 and seeks to control the island without the use of force. The U.S. intelligence community said on Wednesday, striking a measured tone on one of the world's biggest potential flashpoints. The assessment in the intelligence agency's annual report on global threats comes as Beijing has stepped up pressure on Taiwan with frequent military drills, even as the U.S. President Donald Trump has played down the risk of Chinese military action while he's in office. So we've got, what, 5 more months, 6 more months before we're in 2027? And then we'll see what really goes on. AP exclusive. ICE officer in Maine shooting has history of violent behavior, family, and records say. So getting back into ICE, right? So we capped off on the war talk. Now let's double back like we discussed. Some months ago I said, after ICE got that budget approved, all hell was gonna break loose. They've been doing it. 2,000 arrests a day. They didn't kill two men in 1 week. And this latest one, this Edomite that killed the Colombian brother up there in Maine, they said, man, this dude had all kind of damn mental health issues, domestic violence, all kind of stuff. He had no business being an ICE officer, but guess what? Maybe he did because they ain't screening. The training and the education is piss poor. They just let in every little armed thug and Gestapo Nazi wannabe on deck. The Immigration and Customs Enforcement officer who shot a Colombian man in Maine this week is an Army veteran who has struggled with serious mental health issues since early childhood and never should have been given a badge and gun to patrol American streets. Several of his close relatives told the Associated Press. Yeah, so obviously they didn't give him no psych evaluation. They ain't worried about him having PTSD and no problems coming from being an Army vet. They told the man, do you hate Hispanics? Yeah. You want to take and make America great again? Yeah. You want a gun badge and a mask and be able to go out there and commit horrific crimes and terrorize whole communities and beat down old men and slam old ladies and bust into women's restrooms and snatch up immigrants off the toilet? And you want to do it? Yeah. You're hired. Woo-ha! And they run out there and act a damn fool. David Brulette has a history of terrifying and violent behavior. Now, he's not the only one. He's not the only one. Most of these Edomites out there running rampant through these streets, man, with these damn masks on and turning their damn body cams off and lying, acting. We've seen too much of it, man. Handcuffing little children and bringing them out of buildings in Chicago and doing. I mean, these cats is out of control. But here they go. His own relatives are saying this. They accuse him of attacking women in his life over the years, and one shared a voicemail with the AP from last winter in which he told her that he thought someone should slit her throat. At least 10 people have been unalived in encounters with immigration agents since Trump launched the crackdown after retaking office, including a 25-year-old Johann Sebastian Duran Guerrero, a Colombian national who was shot and killed by Brulette on Monday while in his car near his home in coastal Maine in the city of Biddeford. Now, mind you, remember last week, the brother that got put to death in Houston, they said he wasn't even the target of the raid. Mistaken identity. Whoops. Any justice for him yet? No. DHS hasn't released the name of the officer who killed Duran Guerrero, has said the vehicle attempted to flee the scene. It's not always the case. Oh, he tried to run me over. Oh, he tried to run. Oh, he tried to ram us. And then you see videos, they're the ones riding reckless in unmarked cars in the streets, chasing, Northern Kingdom down at factories and warehouses, running them off the road. That one sister, they smashed into her in Chicago and said she was the one driving reckless. And they completely did an illegal U-turn in the middle of the street, smashed into her car. She gets out and complains. They shoot her in the back. This is what's going on, man. Look at this. The shooter in Maine was a new ICE recruit. Agency second killing this month prompted an abrupt policy change on vehicle stops. So yeah, the Supreme Court said ICE can't do vehicle stops no more. They out here using these unmarked cars and chasing people down and doing all kind of illegal stuff in these countries. They said no more of this. They got that money, man, and they got the word. You hear Pete Hegseth running around talking about he's testing everybody in the military for testosterone levels. I mean, these dudes is out of control, man. Did y'all hear about that? Hegseth testing testosterone levels. Look at it. This damn thing is listening to me. I didn't even type testosterone. It's gonna put it in there. Ridiculous, man. Look at the risks of Hegseth's testosterone plan for soldiers remain unknown. I mean, he's gonna have them juiced up on stuff, man. The low testosterone, man. He's over here trying to get high, geeked up, juiced up Captain America's on the super serum if they got low testosterone. See, look at this guy, man. Unbelievable. Mandatory testosterone screenings. What's gonna happen if they got low testosterone, man? You gonna put them on HGH? You gonna put them on steroids? What you gonna do? You get them up there on roid race, man. These guys really gonna lose their damn mind. China aggressively patrols disputed waters. Now the U.S. Coast Guard is moving in. So back to the same scenario. This was supposed to be up with the Chinese war plans. Got out of place, but nonetheless, we see China is over there aggressively patrolling disputed waters, right? So they're always poking at the Philippines. They're poking at Taiwan. They're trying to get something cracking. We're getting closer in on the 2027 deadline. They're making replicas about, how they're going to attack and destroy America. So keep an eye on that. We're looking at Iran and Israel and the U.S., Putin in Russia and Ukraine. Meanwhile, it's a whole nother beast coming up, looking for smoke. Look at this, man. Sacramento deploys trash spies to snoop on homeowners so they comply with Gavin Newsom's vision. Remember, they started off with the see something, say something back in the COVID times. Oh, you see somebody without a mask? Call the police. Oh, there's a gathering over there. Nobody's having 6 feet. They're supposed to be quarantined. There's a party. Call us and let us know. Film it. See, this is all part of the nanny state. Tell on people, I'm watching you. Remember they had the hotline. I think it's 211. The sodomites. If you feel offended, you think something being said that hurts your feelings, call us. We'll get them. Now they've got trash spies. So California priding themselves on being a green state with your recycles and your organics, and you make sure you're throwing away your stuff right. Be a good servant, good slave, good. Follow the rules, or else. Now they got people rummaging through your trash. Trash spot. I mean, this is ridiculous. And then if you're wondering how deep is it going to go with the surveillance state, how deep are they going to go with the digital IDs, the what do you call it, the social credit scores? Are you being a good neighbor? Are you being a good citizen? You being a good slave? Oh, delete her credits, delete his credits, delete his week to buy his rations of water. That's where they're trying to go with this. Look, the Sacramento residents are bracing for tight supervision of what they throw in their trash, as Governor Gavin Newsom's mandates require the city to lay invasive eyes on them. And mind you, this guy is trying to run for president. That's all I said, man. If Agent Orange falls out, the next demon's gonna come in. He's gonna be 10 times worse. And Agent Orange is a piece of work. Imagine this guy, where multi-billions of dollars come up missing in California that's supposed to be going to homeless programs and can't find that, surveillance states on your trash, electric vehicles, it was mandating telling everybody 6 feet and quarantines and getting poked in the arm. Meanwhile, he's out at high-class restaurants and wine tasting spots with no mask on, just being a complete hypocrite. But he says he's fit to be the next president. Look at this. Bin inspections are set to be deployed this month due to SB 1383, a law that requires local governments to take steps to reduce methane emissions caused by short-lived climate pollutants. So it's all about climate change. When they talk about methane emissions, that's when they get into talk about cow farts, and you got to get rid of the cows and give everybody fake meat. This is all the stuff that of nightmares are made that you're seeing. When you see all the little TikTok and Instagram videos and AI people running around telling you how bad it's going to be and what they're trying to do and controlling the earth, all that is real. And he's one of the stooges and the puppets, man, that's going to push the issue. One of the key goals of the initiative is to see if homeowners are sorting their organic waste properly. He's the one that was going over there doing fake interviews as Palisades and Altadena was burning, telling the firefighters stand down and all kind of. I mean, this cat is wicked as hell. But which one of them isn't wicked? I mean, really. So look, one of the key goals of the initiative is to see if homeowners are sorting their organic waste properly. City officials say they caught many sorting their trash into the wrong bin. Uh-oh. Oops, you put a plastic bottle in the trash. We conducted the same reviews last June, and we found high contamination of levels of, issues like plastic bags and recycling garbage in the organics. Yeah, so, those of us in California, man, plastic bags outlawed. They selling us these cheap paper bags that rip as soon as you pick up the bag. All to save the earth, right? I think my son, we were talking about this the other day. He was like, Dad, didn't they have save the trees back in the day, and they switched from paper to plastic, and now they doubling back saying no plastic. Let's go back to the paper. I mean, which one are they trying to say? Well, now Esau says we figured out how to recycle. We recycle paper so we can remake bags out of recycled paper. I mean, this dude's all over the place. Now, they say no fines will be issued, but residents will receive unsolicited feedback via a Tag City workers place. I mean, it's the same guy, man, who's outlawing and having problems with you rationing your water. You can't do rain collection, no gardens in your backyard unless you're getting permit. I mean, all kind of foolishness. So imagine if this demon man gets to sit in office, man. All hell is going to break loose. You talk about this place is already under Satan's authority, man. I mean, multiply by times 10. If this dude gets in, I mean, California, man. If it wasn't for the weather and whatever else this place supposedly offers, man. I mean, you've seen the exodus of people leaving California been high under this dude's rulership. Now he's got nannies to, watch your trash to make sure you're dumping your trash correctly, or else. Remind us of something.
They're constantly monitored by facial recognition cameras that are able to instantly put a face to a name. Now, the Chinese are also ranked, given a mark out of a possible 950 points. A score in the 700s is considered good. Around the 500 mark is not. For now, the number is a sort of bank credit rating, keeping track of everyone's spending habits.
I think
Facial recognition cameras, social credit scores, cameras everywhere. This is what's going on in China right now. Who and where do we see this being emulated? Don't we see this being emulated right now in America as well? That's why I said, look, they're the beta tests. China will sit back and say, you know, we know how to control our people. Watch how we do it, America, and we'll teach you. America's like, you know what? If we didn't have this damn constitution, right to bear arms, and people have all these particular freedoms, we'd have been did it. So there you see what they got going on right now. That's why we just got to, matter of fact, hold on. Let me get this in a second. That's a right. This is why the most I said this place got to, you know, China gonna get hit up too, Asia, because they want to be like America. But what do they? What is America? America wants to be like the Most High, right? Esau wants to be like the Most High. So what is it? What are they doing? Sirach 23:19. Such a man only feareth the eyes of men, and knoweth not that the eyes of the Lord are 10 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men and considering the most secret parts. That's only a spirit and a power that the Most High is having and it can have. They say, well, if we can put cameras, microphones everywhere, AI bots into your computers, listening in and watching and monitoring and tracking your behavioral patterns and your spending habits and your search histories and your cookies and smart dust, like they think, oh, that's how they're going to get godlike power. The scriptures say that the Lord's eyes are 10 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men and considering the most secret parts. Esau says, and Moab says, we are too. We can be like gods. Let's get back over here.
California needs a permanent fix to this wildfire crisis. The state's Fair Plan insurance rates are increasing as much as 200%. While Billboard lawyers take
fair use. This is being used under fair use for commentary, teaching, scholarship. Let me see that. Let me make sure I get this up. Because lately, every time I play a damn video, they clipping it saying that it's a problem. Disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 76, this is under fair use for criticism, commentary, news reporting. Okay? Before I play this video, I'm tired of getting damn emails from YouTube talking about you use a video and you can't monetize this, and we don't monetize anyway. But I noticed that what it does is we're already shadow banned there, but it doesn't even work. They barely circulate our stuff. They barely acknowledge and notify or subscribe. They barely do anything, man. Everything is grassroots over here, man. If you ain't already locked in and you know, like, hey, you know what? It's around 8 o'clock on Friday night. Let me check and see if IQ's on. Oh, it's around 11 a.m. on the shopper. Let me see if he's on. It's 4:30 shopper class. Are they on? Like, is it Torah Tuesday? Is it Wednesday? Where's it with? Like, if you're not locked into the schedule, YouTube ain't gonna tell you. Some of y'all are fortunate and getting notified. The majority of folks, man, and you know how it is. Our algorithms are so deep and subscriber system is so deep, man. You will forget about people and move on to the next. And there's so many brothers out there doing great works and teachings on Israel. It's easy to forget about, man. I used to watch brother. Nah, I ain't seen the brother in a while. I thought he was gone. I don't get notified no more. And guess what? That's how it goes. So nonetheless, we just have to keep pushing, man. We ain't going nowhere until the Lord says so. But I know the last couple of weeks, I've been getting emails from YouTube telling me that they're limiting our outreach if I don't give them my damn passport and ID and all kind of madness to identify the channel rated with their system. And I said no. So they hit us in the ass with that. Now they hit me past with, oh, you played a video copyrighted. Oh, we gotta shut that video down. We'll keep it on YouTube, but you can't make no money off it. I'm like, we never make no money off of videos. We're not monetizing this. But that means that they're gonna limit the outreach, the circulation, and the visibility of the video even more. So, they just keep kicking us down. That's all right, man. We keep standing up, man. You can't do nothing against the truth before the truth. All praise to the Most High. But nonetheless, back on track. China ranks good and bad citizens with a social credit system. So you see, this is a mirroring of what Gavin Newsom is trying to do in San Francisco, or was it Sacramento? Sacramento, right? Spy on your neighbors, or trash, nosy neighbor trash people. You dig what I'm saying? Like, this is ridiculous, man. But let me play this video about China.
California needs a permanent fix to this wildfire crisis. The state's Fair Plan insurance rates are increasing as much as 200%, while billboard lawyers take huge cuts of victim settlements. Demand action at wildfirevictimsfirst.com.
Here we go.
They're constantly monitored by facial recognition cameras that are able to instantly put a face to a name. Now, the Chinese are also ranked, given a mark out of a possible 950 points. A score in the 700s is considered good. Around the 500 mark is not. For now, the number is a sort of bank credit rating, keeping track of everyone's spending habits.
I think being ranked is a good thing. A society has to have rules.
It forces us to be well behaved.
It may seem scary.
And there's for those that watch Black Mirror, there's an episode on there where it's based off a social credit score. And a woman's trying to get a house, and she, trying to impress her neighbors and her friends. And you go to a restaurant and they swipe, or they give you a good credit score, a bad credit score, and she ends up losing her damn mind because she's trying to chase acceptance in the world. If y'all seen that, throw a 7 in tech, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't and you got Netflix, check that. I forgot what the episode name is, but it's on Black Mirror. I think it's in the first or the second season, and it pretty much is what China's got going on and America's instituting. They got the facial recognition jumping off right now. If you notice, that's how travel now is changing, especially international travel. They ain't too concerned about, the passports and all that. Everything is up. The facial recognition when you're going up to places to access your IRS records and all the other stuff. When you make your account, they want your face or a facial recognition picture to lock you in. You notice all of your stuff now has got 2-step verification for your security. They're trying to bait everybody in to do biometrics, to access your credit card statements and information. They want your fingerprint, your bank account, fingerprint on your phone. How do you open up your phone with your face? You open up your phone with your fingerprints now. Everything is being biometrically linked into this particular system. China's doing the same thing. There was an Instagram video I played at least a year or two ago of a Moabite woman. She was going to go visit her peoples over in, I think it was in Korea, and they had bought her a prepaid credit card to have money on it, but she couldn't access it unless it was accessible through her facial recognition, and she was sitting up here trying to access it, looking at her face, and it would not unlock. They kept telling her, raise your eyebrow, look this, look that, and they wouldn't do it. And she was like, I can't even access the damn money because my face ain't matching, through the facial recognition system. It's not identifying me. They got the new cars now, 2026. I just played the video in the article a few months back. White woman was over in Europe. She rented a car, got the 2026. She got the driving and the thing cut off on her. And it said that it wouldn't start up because the facial recognition had disconnected. They thought that she had fell asleep or she dozed off or had her head down. The damn cars want to be monitoring and watching you every minute too. Black boxes recording everything. You notice now the cars got Wi-Fi in them. They want everything digitally connected, man. Locked into the web. So Moab is doing the same damn thing, and they're leading the charge. That's why it's the big AI and tech revolution. Trump dumping in what was it, $500 billion into AI and tech. That's why he recruited OpenAI and Oracle and what's the other the big one too. Why I'm losing. What's the other one, man? Sam Altman's running OpenAI. Larry Ellison got Oracle. And there's another one. And they're one of the biggest ones too right now with monitoring and tracking. If anybody remembers, man, throw it in the chat for me. Help my memory out. But anyway, till we get to that, let's play this video.
But it's just like that here. We're used to it. And anyway, we don't have a choice.
But in an effort to keep all of its subjects in line, Beijing is taking the system a step further in 2020. It's aggregating data gathered by banks, private companies, and the state to rate if someone's a good or bad citizen.
By using the most data possible, the so-called big data, the system will play an important role in rebuilding a moral society.
The state will go over every detail of a person's life with a fine-tooth comb. Their financial situation, spending habits, career, even behavior on social media. Criticizing the government on even behavior on social.
Now, hold on. Do you see all of the icons? Your social credit score. They're talking about a moral society. Esau is going to answer, Palantir. Palantir is one for sure. There you go, Oscar Rob. Now, notice here. They're talking about bringing in a moral society. They ain't going to use the Bible for it. They're not going to utilize the Most High's standards for morality. They're going to say, no, it's only going to come through AI, tech, digital monitoring, and social credit scores approved by them. And they're going to gather the information through what? Your money, supermarkets. Notice now how they got, the supermarkets all got apps now. They want you to log in to get your rewards and your discounts so they can track your spending habits so that they can monitor what you're buying, how much you're buying. Social media. Notice now all of the text messages and everything else is locked into damn Google. It's all there.
Social media. Criticizing the government online or displaying outward signs of wealth is a no-no. On the other hand, praising the party or giving blood increases your social credit. Xiao Wen-Wang is a model citizen. She lives in Nanjing, a testing ground for social ranking. Married with a child, she has a job in a retirement home, no debts, and she wouldn't dream of jaywalking.
As a good citizen, I respect the rules of the road. If I didn't, I'd lose points on my social credit.
In theory, everything can be taken into account in the social score, even the most innocuous errands like supermarket shopping. When Xiao Wen-Wang makes an electronic payment, her purchases tell the state a lot about her. Buying cigarettes would count against her. On the other hand, nappies show she's an attentive mother. Beer could indicate alcoholism. She'd be better off buying water. In this pilot city of 8 million people, there are only 18,000 model citizens. For Xiao Wen-Wang, there are perks to be had, such as paying half price for the bus.
I get discounts for all public services, even at museums. And the library is free for me, thanks to my score.
A good score brings benefits, but people.
Do you see that? Do you see what they got? They monitoring you. You got, oh, you buying cigarettes? That's unhealthy for you. According to our health records, you shouldn't be buying that. Dock your points. Oh, you got a history of alcoholism. Oh, you just bought a beer. Dock your points. This is wicked as hell. They hear about AI having issues identifying people. No, I haven't heard about that yet. I'm gonna look into that. That's interesting.
People with low scores lose rights. The cinema names and shames people considered untrustworthy, plastering their details, even their addresses, across big screens.
It's a matter of principle. Those people have to be condemned.
Those people aren't honest, so they have to pay the price.
It's only right to pay your debts. You have to blacklist those that don't.
The Supreme Court has created a blacklist for so-called bad citizens, those whose ratings have dropped to zero. On it are companies, but also 23 million people to date. Among them is this journalist, Liu Hu. He got a little too close to uncovering corruption among high-profile party members. After being sued for defamation by the subject of a story he'd written, he was blacklisted. He only realized when he tried to buy a train ticket and was told he was banned from traveling.
That tells me I'm still on the blacklist.
Punished because he's been branded untrustworthy by the state.
Once you're blacklisted, you can no longer get a bank loan, start a business, buy.
See, out of die, you talking about you? You won't drink tequila again? Bad citizen, man. They gonna dock you for points, man. They're gonna blast your address across everywhere, and everybody's gonna shame you. They ain't gonna be able to give you no money. You blacklisted, bro, just because you don't want to give up the damn tequila.
An apartment, or even send your children to a private school.
Yu Hu is among a tiny minority of people who have dared to criticize the system, which some are calling a digital dictatorship.
I worry because I think many people like me will be deprived of individual freedoms, and all of us will live with restrictions of one kind or another.
After our meeting, Yu Hu learned that his name had been removed from the blacklist, but he still has a long way to go if he doesn't want to languish at the bottom of the social credit hierarchy.
There you go. And you know, China got the one child policy. I think they switched it up, and I think you can have 2 kids now. You know, they're about population control, the whole nine. But coming to a Babylon near you, right? This is all a prefixture of how they want the entire world to be. And once Esau gets control of it, you know all bets is off. There you go. Now, look at Xi Jinping. Look what he says. Xi promises AI for all in the debut at China's top tech summit. AI for everybody. In other words, everybody's going to be locked in or else.
AI for everyone, robots included. That's the key message from President Xi when he made his debut appearance here at the World AI Conference in Shanghai.
人工智能发展不应该是某个国家的独奏，而应当是全球合作的交响。
Xi's presence alone is upgrading the status of this event and shows China's growing ambitions to dominate AI at a time when global AI governance is emerging as a key battlefield. And Narendra Modi earlier this year also called for a more inclusive approach. But China is vying for influence with the United States, creating a group of 29 countries in a China-led group called the World AI Cooperation Organization, a platform that could give China more sway in shaping AI norms. Xi once again presented China as a leader for the global south, championing to bridge the digital divide. He vowed to provide 5,000 training courses for people in less developed countries, but stopped short of offering any concrete funding. But as China's models grow more popular overseas, Beijing faces the same dilemma as Washington: how to square mass adoption and openness with national security risks. AI.
Now you notice you're right, Hadassah. iRobot on deck, art imitating life. Let alone you see the factory working robots moving the boxes, folding the boxes. That lets you know those jobs is going to be obsolete as they're already moving in. On all them things. You're going to have a nanny bot watching and recording everything you do, reporting it back to the government. You dig what I'm saying? Like, this is how they want it all going down. You see the damn robot playing the drums. Forget all that foolishness. They already got AI making music and videos and ranking in the top 10 of the R&B and country hits and all that other stuff. They got it to the point now where record companies now are petitioning to make it mandatory that songs are listed as AI, so that you can tell who's a real artist and who isn't, thinking that it's going to help save the music industry. Because if people ain't going to get their money, get their music through record companies and all that, they can just get it through AI and downloads. Like, the record companies are gonna go out of business, so they hoping like, well, at least if people know it's AI, maybe they won't purchase it, or they won't stream it, or they won't. Nah, it's too late.
For every.
I said a while back, man. This SpaceX thing was a pump and dump and another scam being ran by Elon Musty, right? They were talking high power stuff about SpaceX going on this IPO is gonna be the next thing. Boom, and they sold it heavy. Came out $160 something a share, went up to $200 something, dropped down. They started selling it off, getting that money. Now it's down to $135 now. So these Edomites, man, once they got them investors, man, to reimburse them, get all their money, to be able to value it, to put it on the stock market and trade, they got it, and then they said, we gotta get our money back. Pump it up, everybody buy into it. Oh, Elon's with another one. They go in there, and next thing you know, sell off. The big dogs get all the money off the top, and now everybody's is suffering. Remember with Agent Orange with his damn Trump coin? I think it was booming, $70 something a coin. Now it's down to $1 and some change. Meanwhile, he made billions of dollars off of it, and multi-millions of people have lost hundreds of millions of dollars betting on these little scams, man. These are white-collar crooks, demons and devils, man. That are good with fork-tongued schemes, man. They're selling people dreams. Used car salesmen, especially with Elon. As many damn SpaceX rockets he done blown up, man. How many lemons has he sold? Remember Dogecoin? Dogecoin to the moon. As he was getting people buying them Dogecoin, that was another damn scam. So, as per usual, the rich get richer. Poor keep getting poorer, man. Chasing hope. That's one thing. And I did a DSTM about this like 2-3 years ago about the lottery and how it's predatory against blacks and Hispanics, and it's always being posted up selling hopium to our people in the hood. There's Now, mind you, prime example, I was just over there about a week or so ago, and I was tripping because I did a little short about the Food for Less in Inglewood on Century and Crenshaw shut down. That whole shopping center, it used to have a 99-cent store, a beauty supply place. It has a donut shop. It used to have a clothing store. Food for Less. They got a Winchell's in that whole little thing, and a AutoZone, right? The only things left over there, AutoZone, Winchell's, and a small little rundown damn donut shop. Now, first thing I'm questioning is how the hell did this damn donut shop survive as the only lasting business over Food for Less, 99-cent store, the beauty supply place? Like how did that little place sells lottery tickets and be constant Jakes running up in there buying their damn hopium tickets, thinking they're gonna get some money, that they ticket finally gonna hit, and then they pile them up with damn sugar too. If they ain't got the sugar, you can go over there and get some damn nasty ass wiener schnitzel. So they leave you with wiener schnitzel, donuts, and hopium lottery tickets as the last things left in that whole strip mall and in the AutoZone. I said, damn. There's no way this little rundown, dirty donut shop should be lasting. That should have been one of the first things to go. But no, it's still there because they making sure Negroes go in there. And no, I just went by there about a week ago. It was still there. They still selling donuts and lottery tickets to people over there. I said, damn, our people are jacked up, man. Selling our people these damn, and we're constantly going broke, trying to strike it rich into this damn scam of the lotto. But anyway, here you go. AI backlash has tech executives fearing for their lives. So now we're seeing the balance of power. The uproars of the people are fighting back against the tech heads, man. You know, the Sam Altmans and all these other guys, man, they get death threats. People is mad against AI. There's going to be a clash of people, man, just over the desire not to want to be taken over by AI. You know, what they see what's going on in China. China, they got some good old slaves, man. They're going to fall in line. They don't want to go do nothing wrong. Just like they made that example of that one Moabite woman. They talking about she's a good citizen and good mother, and they watching everything she does, and she plays by the rules. She got no debt. She don't want to speak against it. She's a good one. Now, over here, you got too many rebels that's on the internet. They're on AI. I mean, utilizing. They're in the matrix. They're using Instagram and TikTok to make videos, exposing AI, exposing the dirt on all of these tech executives. You see them. What's the name of that one? Luigi, that put to death the head of Cash App. He's been, heralded as a hero now. You know, when you get these little martyrs jumping off there, man, they're gonna have plenty of these cast man that's gonna go up and fight against the beast system, man. They're gonna try to enact a Skynet Terminator scenario where now you see people are rising up against the machine. That's another aspect where you're gonna see civil wars jumping off in the streets. Not only are we going to see race wars, you're going to see people fighting against the system, period. Insurrections. Remember, the scriptures tell us that there's going to be sedition amongst men. And everybody's going to work with the power that's in their hand. They're not going to give credence to princes and governments and kings and whatnot. In 2 Ezra 15, paraphrasing. Look at this. Violent threats against AI companies are rising and spilling over into real-world security incidents. So once we start seeing these things, He said, how did the donut shop survive? Because they selling our people them damn lottery tickets and stale sugared up donuts. So they want to keep Jake's unhealthy, and they want to keep everybody running in there buying them damn lottery tickets. That's the only thing I can think of. This place is a little hole in the wall. And I'm saying the whole strip mall is completely going to be destroyed. I think Hadessa, you may mention that they're talking about making a hotel over there. So this last little thing is the last thing standing over there on the main side. On the front end side, on the Century side, they got the Wiener Schnitzel and the what is it, AutoZone. But in the back of it, this whole big parking lot, at the front, they got the Wiener Schnitzel and the AutoZone. And as you get inside, there's a Chinese restaurant, a little Chinese takeout place, a nail shop, they do recycling over there, and then the rest, everything is condemned. So they're doing a hotel affiliated with the casino. Yeah, I mean, good Lord, come on, man. If you trying to tell me that Moab? Hey, man, look, Moab obviously got an inside track because Moab is over there selling lottery tickets, donuts, and rat, cat, and dog in that Chinese food place, and making sure sisters spend their money to get them nails done, the manis and petties done. And one of the last things left was a damn beauty supply place that was owned by Moab. They got gone. So Moabites own 3 things in that little shopping center. And then you got Wiener Schnitzel and AutoZone. I forgot about the damn Chinese food place. There's a Chinese food place and they doing nails over there. They'll make sure, man, that they drain Jake to the last damn drop. Donuts, lottery tickets, Chinese food, and mani and petties. All things Negroes love. Good Lord, they plan that for real. All right. Strong quake off of Mexican coast rattles Guatemala, El Salvador, leaves no damage. So that was like 7.3, I believe. Another earthquake. This is all about that ring of fire, right? Yeah, good for them. They boycotted it. It was kind of empty. I used to see it all the time, like people in there, buying up them tickets. But because of that Rick Child situation, I know Jake's has been boycotting a lot of Chinese owned businesses and whatnot. But Negro gonna go back and get back on. They, sister's gonna be tired of not being able to buy that hair and get the nails and them donuts and everything else. Niggas still gonna go to the damn liquor stores because they need their Black and Miles and their damn 40 ounce. It ain't gonna last too long. So that ring of fire is still rocking. They've been talking about, man, the San Andreas fault has been quiet, and that's something I'm keeping an eye on because I'm like, why is it quiet? That means we might need to get prepared for things to get rocking and rolling. I'm not saying I'm looking for it, not saying I'm ready for it, but it would only stand to reason. We did get some rattling up north when that earthquake hit a couple weeks ago. Within a 24-hour period that all the countries got hit. But now it's getting a little close. Mexico, they feeling it over there in Guatemala, El Salvador. They had the one over there in Cuba. They said it's kind of quiet, man. I mean, not how it's supposed to be, or you would think it would be reactive. Look, you see here? LA Times. San Andreas fault has gone ominously silent. Scientists fear when it finally snaps. Yeah, I mean, they're getting this little 3.5. You don't feel this. But they talking about the actual fault getting hit. And us getting hit in that 6, 7, 8 range. Right? It's expected, like once that activity that we've been seeing with that ring of fire going on, it's kind of overdue. See this? This that ring of fire that they got going on. This the fault lines from east to west, all the way here to North America, down Mexico, South America, the western part of South America, Mexico, North America is going to be part of that ring of fire. That's why they're like, well, what's up with the San Andreas fault? Like, that thing should be rocking pretty soon. I'm sure y'all seen or heard about the Texas flooding down there. So, you know, get into more of this. Esau are gonna sit back and say, "Oh, it's global warming." No, it's the Most High. All right. But you got flash floods down there in Texas. They just had floods in New York. You had the winds knocking down trees and jack things up in Chicago. You had them jacked up over there in New York and Brooklyn, knocking down trees. Typhoons in China and in Taiwan, tearing up stuff. Floods over here. I mean, you name it. The Most High is moving.
While we deal with the air quality.
Now, check this out.
California needs a permanent fix to this wildfire crisis. The state's fair plan insurance rates are increasing as much as 200%, while billboard lawyers take huge cuts of victim settlements. Demand
You know
action
what?
at
I'm not sure if it was a sundown town.
wildfirevictimsfirst.com.
I do know it was a small little area in Texas, Kelvin, Texas, something like that. I forgot the name of it. It could have been. If it was, all praise. Now, this story I had to take hold of because, yeah, we see that there's been violence going on all over the place. This hit a little close to home because I got people in St. Louis, but not affiliated with this particular scenario. But nonetheless, 5 killed in a mass shooting in the East St. Louis, right? 2 critically injured. Now, when the scriptures say that iniquity shall abound and the love of many shall wax cold, perilous times, you know, in Matthew 24, 2 Timothy 3 about perilous times going to be happening. This really got to me because I was like, look at this foolishness. If y'all didn't hear about this story, check this out.
First at 10, a community is shaken and searching for answers tonight. A flurry of gunfire leaves 5 dead and 2 seriously injured. Good evening, I'm Russell Kinsall. Thanks for joining us. Police tell First Alert 4 all of the victims are related, calling this a targeted mass shooting. Tonight, 2 suspects, ages 15 and 16 years old, are in custody, accused of a mass killing. Illinois State Police say the shootings span multiple scenes, including a public housing complex.
Did you hear that? 15 and 16-year-olds. 15 and 16-year-olds. They went on a mission from the projects to the park, and they were targeting this particular family. And as the story is going to come out, one of the 15-year-olds, they were related in this family. So you got family members killing family members, and these little young gremlins out here, little YNs, 15, 16-year-olds, man, going on killing sprees, killing their family. Hold on. You know, scripture saying in 2 Ezra 5 and 8, there shall be confusion in many places. Excuse me, there shall be a confusion also in many places. And the fire shall be oft sent out again. And the wild beasts shall change their places. And menstruous women shall bring forth monsters. I mean, these little dudes are straight monsters. You talk about these little YNs, man, running around here, man, gun happy, gun wilding out. Isaiah 3:12. As for my people, children are their oppressors, man. Our people are being fearful of these little young dudes running around here with the shiesty mask on, and it's 100 degrees outside, man. I just seen a little dude walking down the street. He got a hoodie. No, he had a sweater on, a beanie on, sagging. I'm like, little bro, it is 95 out here right now, man. What do you dress like that for, man? They run around here with still got the damn mask on, menacing people, hanging out, blowing weed, acting the damn fool. They're becoming the oppressors, man. People are now fearful of them. Big people are now running from them. We just seen 400 of them get arrested in Newport Beach for wilding out on the 4th of July. Here it go. As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee, cause thee to err, and destroy the ways of thy past. Yeah, because guess what? The leaders are causing people there because they don't lead by the examples of the scriptures. They don't lead by the laws of morality, civil laws, dietary laws. Yeah, you're right. Mental issues for sure. You know, these little jakes, man, are being brought up in environments with no hope. You know, PTSD from experiencing violence at young ages, not having access to economic wealth or growth. You know, they're coming off of a time when they had to be quarantined and blocked off from society for 2-3 years. They're coming up in a school system that, you know, if you tap your leg too much, they locking you in and telling you, you know what, you need a psych evaluation from the school psychologist and throwing them on ADD and antidepressant drugs early off. They break off the drugs. They get, you know, they get to having the side effects of suicide and all kind of stuff going on. I mean, it goes deep. They're smoking on the synthetic weed and K2 and everything else. They got bad leadership in the hood, man. You know, the elders that they following is ex-gangsters and crackheads and everything else. Some with no leadership, no guidance. Let them run around and do what they want to do. They using sex as sedatives because, you know, they say they so cramped up in the environment of the depression. Only thing they can do is go lay up with a female and have kids at, you know, 13 and 12 years old. It's all bad. Then on the internet, man, teasing and acting a fool with each other and taunting each other and riding by and filming and doing all kind of dirt and catching themselves up. And that's not even to mention the technological manipulation that they're getting put under through 5 and 6G radioactive waves, interacting with their damn phones and bodies and things that they done injected and ate. And I mean, it's all over the place, man. All over the place. But these little dudes was on pills since they've been 8, 9 years old, prescribed by Esau. But let this thing play.
California needs a permanent fix to this wildfire crisis. The state's Fair Plan insurance rates are increasing as much as 200%, while billboard lawyers take huge cuts of victim settlements. Demand action at wildfirevictimsfirst.com.
First at 10, a community is shaken and searching for answers tonight. A flurry of gunfire leaves 5 dead and 2 seriously injured. Good evening, I'm Russell Kinsall. Thanks for joining us. Police tell First Alert 4 all of the victims are related, calling this a targeted mass shooting. Tonight, 2 suspects, ages 15 and 16 years old, are in custody, accused of a mass killing. Illinois State Police say the shootings span multiple scenes, including a public housing complex and a park. Our Jordan Burrell brings us the latest after spending the day in East St. Louis talking with neighbors.
Are you calling this a mass shooting, even though it happened at multiple different locations, different times?
Because they're all related and because of the definition of what a mass shooting is, and also the proximity because of one common connection and the way this has unplayed, it may be appropriate to characterize it as a mass shooting.
Illinois State Police say 7 members of the same family were targeted Sunday morning in shootings across 3 locations in East St. Louis. 5 relatives were killed, 2 others survived and are hospitalized with serious injuries.
You can look at the family relationship and the relationship to the suspects that have been apprehended, and you can see that it was focused on this particular family.
One of the suspects is related to
Correct.
one of the victims.
At least one of them, correct.
Police tell us here at Gumper's Public Housing Complex is where at least one of those shootings took place. We spoke to some of the residents here who say early this morning they saw a body outside one of their dumpsters. ISP says 1 victim was found near 39th and Summit, 3 others.
So you notice they said that at least one of them was related to all of the victims. They went on a hunting mission, man, taking out their own family. Unbelievable.
Were killed at the Gompers Public Housing Complex and another victim died at Jones Park. The 2 others were shot.
And look at sis over there sitting out in the front porch drinking her wine. It's Israel, boy.
There but survived. Police say no bystanders were injured. A 15 and a 16-year-old were taken into custody at Frank Holton State Park after officers performed a pit maneuver on the car the suspects were driving. When you hear it's 2 16-year-olds that are the suspects, what is that like?
Very sad. It's very sad, very sad. It makes you wonder, like, what would make them do such a thing? And that's where I'm at with that. Like, why? What would be the reason?
The progress we have made will not be lost as a result of this terrible, terrible acts of violence that have occurred in this community today. So this is the City of Champions.
Police say there is no known threat to the public. They declined to answer if any weapons have been recovered. Charges are expected as the investigation continues.
There you go. So it's just getting worse and worse, man. As we're seeing more violent crimes taking place out here, more heinous acts, more senseless violence going on, man. You know, there's no answers for why people are doing what they're doing. But just like I just talked about, there's plenty of reasons why, especially the youngsters, are doing what they're doing right now. This is why we got to go out there and be examples for them, man, to be real leads and guides for them. Give them some hope and inspiration that, through the faith of Hamashiach Yahweh, keeping of the laws, man, things will get better with right guidance and leadership, but most of them don't want it, man. They want to be lions and gremlins until they die, man, and unfortunately that's going to happen to many of them. So, a couple of weeks ago, I had brought out the outbreak of the parasitic outbreak, cyclospora, over there. The outbreak began in Michigan. Since then, I believe they said it's spread to 30 states. Now it's getting traction. People are, making viral videos and stuff like that now, covering on TikTok, Instagram, and all of that. They're narrowing it down to saying that they've tracked down the lettuce, at least in some Taco Bells. They said that the FDA is doing an investigation now, trying to find out where or who the supplier of the lettuce is coming from. Everybody been hearing about this. If you're not careful or you don't know, didn't know, been kind of oblivious, avoid iceberg, romaine, the pre-packed salads, pre-packed bag salads and all the other stuff. Right now, ain't nothing. You can't trust nothing right now. I mean, it's par for the course, man. We see the Esau's continually poisoning and damaging the food and water supplies, burning down factories, burning down, what do you call them? Food plants and all this other stuff. I mean, are we surprised now that there's an outbreak? I mean, look, the whole warehouse factory over here out here over in Boyle Heights got destroyed, and 75 million pounds of meat destroyed, and frozen foods and all the other stuff. Now there's an outbreak with the vegetation, what's safe? Federal health officials have identified lettuce from Mexico served at Taco Bell locations across 5 U.S. states as a source of the widespread outbreak of diarrhea causing parasite Cyclospora. So that's just Taco Bell in 5 states. It's in 30 states. It ain't at all the Taco Bells, but where'd they get their lettuce from? They saying they got it from a spot in Mexico. Now they're saying it's Taylor Fresh Foods in California. Taylor Fresh sells, the pre-packed bags of lettuce and salads and all that other stuff. Look at this. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention late Thursday warned consumers not to eat shredded iceberg lettuce from Taco Bell restaurants in Indiana, Kentucky, Michigan, Ohio, and West Virginia. A record number of Cyclospora cases have been reported in more than 30 states, and reports have said not every recent U.S. illness might be caused by a single source. A Food and Drug Administration investigation so far has identified a single supplier of the lettuce. The federal warnings to consumers did not identify the company, but Taylor Fresh Foods of Salinas, California said FDA testing indicated it was, quote, a specific independent farm affiliated with the company. So they're having trouble tracking down where and how widespread this is. They don't want to incite panic. So the fact that they're saying 30 states, that's probably taking it light. Because they don't want to crash and burn the whole industry of lettuce and Taco Bell and everything else. So 5 states, spread to 30, but we're not going to tell you what the 30 are. And Taylor Fresh, but they're an independent farm, but they're affiliated with the company in Mexico. So you might want to avoid toilet, but let's not cause a panic. Now, I've got this video because I just want to give some insight just from this guy's a former CDC director about this particular parasite. He's going to give some insight. He's going to give some wisdom on what to do if you do have the stuff about cooking food. He said even washing the stuff doesn't really help. So let's let this play. I'll leave y'all with this information.
Raising Cane's is celebrating National Chicken Finger Day.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Allison Victoria here. For years, I've been designing spaces that feel rich, layered.
Right,
a parasite outbreak has now been reported in 31.
There we go. States reporting cyclosporiasis. California, Alaska, Utah, Colorado, Nebraska, Kentucky, Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Tennessee, Georgia, Florida. I mean, damn near the whole country. All the East Coast. New Hampshire, Rhode Island, New Jersey, Maryland, Connecticut, Massachusetts. A complete outbreak, man. Violent diarrhea. They talking about, man, toilet paper shortages in all these states right now. No, I'm just playing. But seriously, you're talking about another plague hitting America.
In different states. The CDC says more than 800 cases have been confirmed, with more than 1,500 additional cases still under review. Investigators are still searching for the source, but Michigan officials, they think that lettuce or salad greens are the likely culprit. Joining us now, former CDC Director, Dr. Robert Redfield. Dr. Redfield, thanks for coming on with us. Do you agree with that? Lettuce can be so dirty and so gross, and we don't know how well these restaurants are washing it.
Well, it's a big problem because this parasite is very hard to get off of produce, even if you do wash it. It's resistant to formalin, it's resistant to chlorine. So it's really important to wash your vegetables, but it's probably not good.
Now, did you hear what he said? He said produce. So notice he said vegetables and lettuce. They're just trying to tell everybody, oh, it's the lettuce. It's no. Produce, period. So now your likelihood of trying to eat, quote unquote, healthy for my vegan heads and for my, that ain't even safe right now. So they got the meat compromised. Now they got the vegetables where the fear comes in. Am I eating? Is it okay to eat the vegetables now? Good Lord.
It's not going to necessarily get rid of this particular parasite. This is a tough one to get off of food products.
Yeah, I was hearing if you wash your vegetables, then the virus or the outbreak could spread to your countertop or to your kitchen sink. So then what do you do?
So you heard what he said. He said washing it is not going to do it. He said this is a particularly hard parasite to get rid of. So you can't get them pre-packed bags of salad and lettuce where it says thoroughly washed. No, it's not. You can't trust going to whatever fast food spot now, getting that burger with the lettuce and all that. You better learn how to cook and stay your ass in the house. I'll tell you that much. All right. Now you heard her. She said, yeah, you're washing the stuff, and next thing you know, the parasites get on the counter or on your hands and you're touching something else. We let it go.
Spread to your countertop or to your kitchen sink. So then what do? You use Clorox to clean? I mean, it's just an ongoing process. Should we just stick to vegetables right now that are cooked?
Well, I think that's the safest thing. The one way we know we can kill this parasite is a temperature of 158 degrees will kill it. So cooked food really eliminates it. You know, overall, throughout the country, it's probably still a minimum risk, but there are certain areas, as you mentioned, for example, up in Michigan, where there's really a lot of cases. And historically, we've had the outbreaks due to lettuce. We've had it due to cilantro, to basil, to snow peas, and to raspberries in the last, say, 10 years. So it usually comes from produce. It's really important for people to realize first, though, that this is not a pathogen that knows how to go human to human. It's a pathogen that actually goes from, unfortunately, as gross as it sounds, fecally contaminated water that gets into our water and we drink it, or it gets into our vegetables and we eat it. And in order for it to actually infect humans, the organism that I get in my small intestines, once I excrete it.
Now, that's cold right there. No, did you hear what he said? He said that it comes through fecally contaminated water that we end up drinking. California, see, I don't want to freak y'all out and get to tripping, but most of us all know, or should know, California recycles their water from the sewage systems. That's why you can't drink this water. You can't, over the last, I think I've had even shower water filters. I've had one for like the last, give or take, 6, 8 months, 9 months, somewhere around there. Hot water, your dishes. Sometimes you might want to mix a cap full of bleach with that. This is bad. California water from sewage. Look at it. California approves rules that turn sewage into drinking water. I mean, California has approved new rules to turn treated sewage into drinking water, a process often called toilet to tap. I'm through. And then you see why the water said it ain't just California. It's nationwide. I've talked about the water contaminated, harsh metals, sterilants, mercury. What else they got in there? what they call it? Forever chemical. I mean, all kind of medicine stuff, man. There's a I'll bring it out another day. I'll bring it out another day. But there's a book called Ecoscience, and they talk about contaminating the waters. And they made this in like the 70s. Yeah, usually that's why he's saying you can't eat none of this raw no more. The only way that you can
searches
kind of
billions
get
of
rid of
prices
these things,
from all our favorite
you gotta cook anything and everything now.
travel sites in one place.
Change is a part of life. It's also a part of your health. With insights from Quest, you're empowered to adapt and thrive at every...
A parasite out.
Human to human.
Let me get back up here.
It's a pathogen that actually goes from, unfortunately, as gross as it sounds, fecally contaminated water that gets into our water and we drink it, or it gets into our vegetables and we eat it. And in order for it to actually infect humans, the organism that I get in my small intestines, once I excrete it, it actually has to go into the environment for about a week or two for it to change its form into the form that's infectious for humans again, and then start to cycle over again. So I think it's important. It's unlike other food illnesses where you worry about the food worker, like with hepatitis or salmonella. This is really the only reservoir for this particular pathogen is the human intestines.
You are so bright. I've heard so many interviews on this, but not as specific as yours. Thank you so much for being so thorough for our audience. Great to see you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now.
You are so bright. Oh my goodness. That's part of us living here in that's part of us living here in Babylon, y'all. But fear not. It's part of the prophecy. You know, the Most High told us. I think Ezekiel 4:13, it says, and Yahweh said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whither I will drive them. So we're going to be amongst the heathen, and our bread is going to be defiled, right? That's part of the problem. I mean, that's one of the things that we're going to have to go through the faith. We're going to have to continually maintain Mark 16:18. They shall take up serpents, and if they drink any deadly thing, it shall not hurt them. They shall lay hands on the sick, and they shall recover. For those of us blessed with the Holy Spirit, man, and the power of the Lord, look, the Lord said we're going to eat defiled bread. We're going to, drink deadly things, and we're still going to be okay. All right. So what we do is maintain and follow a disciplined dietary law structure to the best of our ability. We don't eat things with blood in them. We cook everything thoroughly. But lastly, we live by the faith of Mashiach Yahweh Shai and keeping these commandments, man, because one thing's for sure, two things for certain. This place is getting hit with plagues. This place is getting hit with death and destruction. And, all its inhabitants are going to be affected. But the children of the Lord, we've got a plan. And our plan is to live by Hashem and Mashiach Yahweh Shai through this holy book right here and this one right here. And we got to make sure that we stick to it. Stick to the script, all right? That's going to get it done for the evening, all right? All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahweh Shai. This is your brother IQAhmath, IQAhmath, first name IQ, it's all the same. Prayerfully, man, everybody got some edification this evening. And y'all to be well. We'll lock in with y'all again tomorrow for the closing Shabbat class here at MOTC, man. Lock in with us tomorrow, about 4:15 tomorrow. We'll have a closing Shabbat class, man. So with that being said, I'm going to get on out of here. Always remember, fear the Most High, keep the commandments, don't shoot the messenger. Until next time, Shalom.